the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in the binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
As man has developed, so also has his language. Even the simplest language is the product of a gradual growth. All higher forms of language have come out of simpler ones. Language declines both in sound and in form. The transition from the first to the second period is one of slower progress. August Schleicher. August Schleicher (1821–1868) was a German linguist primarily known for his significant contributions to historical linguistics, particularly in the study of Proto-Indo-European language. August Schleicher was born on February 19, 1821, in Meiningen, in the Duchy of Saxe-Meiningen, now part of Germany. His father was a medical practitioner. Schleicher's early education included attending the gymnasium at Coburg from 1835 to 1840. He initially pursued theology at the University of Leipzig, enrolling in the autumn of 1840. However, his academic interests soon shifted. In the spring of 1841, he transferred to the University of Tübingen, where he spent 2 years. Here, under the influence of the renowned Orientalist Heinrich Ewald, he turned his focus from theology to the study of languages, particularly Oriental languages such as Arabic, Hebrew, Sanskrit, and Persian. In 1843, Schleicher moved to the University of Bonn, where he continued his linguistic studies. He eventually earned his doctoral degree in 1846 and established himself as a Privatdozent and unsalaried lecturer in comparative philology. This early period of intensive language study laid the foundation for his groundbreaking work in historical linguistics and the reconstruction of Proto-Indo-European. August Schleicher's career, though spanning less than 2 decades due to his premature death, was a period of intense intellectual ferment and profound contributions that redefined the nascent field of linguistics. His journey began after completing his doctoral studies, when he secured a position as a Privatdozent at the University of Bonn in 1846. Here, he swiftly distinguished himself with early systematic analyses of European languages, already showcasing his meticulous approach to linguistic phenomena. Schleicher's Sprachvergleichende Untersuchungen zur Vergleichenden Sprachgeschichte 1848 marked his early foray into systematic comparative linguistics. This 2-volume work, appearing relatively early in his career, demonstrated his burgeoning interest in the historical relationships between languages and laid some of the foundational ideas that he would later develop more fully. It represented an initial attempt to apply a rigorous comparative methodology to linguistic history, signaling his departure from more speculative approaches to language change. His Linguistische Untersuchungen. Part 2, Die Sprachen Europas in Systematischer Übersicht 1850 showcased Schleicher's ambition to provide a comprehensive and systematic overview of European languages. This work moved beyond isolated comparisons to attempt a broader classification, highlighting his desire to impose order and structure on the diverse linguistic landscape of the continent. It provided an early articulation of his systematic approach to linguistic classification, which would eventually culminate in his famous family tree model. The next significant phase of his professional life unfolded in Prague, where he was appointed an extraordinary professor of classical philology in 1850, and later, an ordinary professor of German and comparative philology and Sanskrit. This period was crucial for the breadth of his linguistic understanding, as he delved deeply into Slavic languages. A testament to his dedication was his immersive research trip to Prussian Lithuania in 1852. Unlike many armchair scholars of his time, Schleicher chose to live among the peasantry, directly observing and documenting the Lithuanian language in its living form. The Formenlehrdurkirchen Slawisken Sprach 1852 exemplifies Schleicher's deep engagement with specific language families beyond Indo-European. His detailed morphological analysis of Old Church Slavonic demonstrates his versatility and meticulous attention to grammatical structure, indicating his belief that a thorough understanding of individual languages was crucial for broader comparative work. This detailed grammar provided a foundational text for the study of this important early Slavic literary language. Schleicher's Die ersten Spaltungen der Indo-Germanischen Urvolkes 1853, published in a prominent academic journal, offered an early hypothesis on the initial divergence of the Proto-Indo-European people based on linguistic evidence. This work highlights his interest not only in the language itself but also in the potential implications of linguistic history for understanding the early movements and divisions of human populations, demonstrating an interdisciplinary outlook that linked language to prehistory. This hands-on fieldwork culminated in his monumental Handbuch der Litauischen Sprache 1856–1857, a work that stood out as the first truly scientific and comprehensive description of Lithuanian, complete with grammar, reader, and glossary. It demonstrated his commitment to empirical observation and meticulous documentation, moving beyond purely textual analysis. Beyond the grammar of Lithuanian, Schleicher also collected and published Litauische Märchen, Sprichwort, Rätsel und Lieder 1857. This collection of Lithuanian folklore and oral traditions underscores his profound appreciation for living language as it manifested in cultural expressions. It signifies his understanding that language is not merely a system of rules but is deeply embedded in the cultural life of its speakers, providing invaluable authentic data for linguistic analysis. His work Volkstümliches aus Sonnenberg im Meininger Oberland, Ladelreder Sonnenberger Mundart 1858 showcases Schleicher's interest in dialectology and phonetics, focusing on the specific sound system of a regional German dialect. This detailed study of a local variety demonstrates his commitment to empirical observation of language as it is actually spoken, providing a micro-level analysis that complemented his broader macro-level comparative work. It highlights his scientific approach to documenting linguistic variation. Schleicher's Kursabriss der Geschichte der Italienischen Sprachen 1859, published in a philological journal, illustrates his broad command of Indo-European languages and their historical development. This concise overview of the history of the Romance languages, specifically Italian, demonstrates his ability to apply his historical comparative method to various branches of the Indo-European family, further cementing his reputation as a versatile and comprehensive linguist. The work Die Deutsche Sprache 1860 represents Schleicher's dedicated study of his native tongue. This comprehensive treatment of the German language, including its historical development, underscores his belief in applying the same rigorous scientific methods of historical linguistics to one's own language. It served as an important contribution to German philology, synthesizing his understanding of language change within a familiar context. However, it was at the University of Jena, where he took up a professorship in philology in 1857, that Schleicher's most enduring and influential work came to fruition. This Jena period, lasting until his death in 1868, saw the publication of his masterpiece, Compendium der Vergleichenden Grammatik der Indo-Germanischen Sprachen. This two-volume work, appearing between 1861 and 1862, was an ambitious attempt to reconstruct Proto-Indo-European PI, the hypothetical common ancestor of the Indo-European language family. What made his approach revolutionary was not just the depth of his comparative analysis but also his innovative visualization of language evolution. Influenced by the biological sciences of his time, particularly the ideas emerging from pre-Darwinian biology and later, seemingly, Darwin's own origin of species, Schleicher conceived of languages as organisms that undergo natural development, exhibiting stages of birth, growth, maturity, and decline. He famously represented these relationships through his family tree model Stammbaum theory, graphically illustrating how languages branch off from a common ancestor, much like species in a biological lineage. To further bring his reconstructed PI to life, he even composed a short narrative, Schleicher's fable Aves och Vases Ka, the sheep and the horses, providing a concrete example of what the ancient proto-language might have sounded like. This creative demonstration served to popularize the concept of linguistic reconstruction. Beyond the compendium, Schleicher continued to publish, exploring the theoretical underpinnings of his work. His 1863 essay, Die Darwinsche Theorie und die Sprachwissenschaft Darwinian Theory and the Science of Language, explicitly drew parallels between his linguistic organism theory and the emerging principles of biological evolution, even though his core ideas on language development predated his full engagement with Darwin's work. Finally, his involvement in the publication of Christian Donalitius' Literarische Dichtungen 1865 by the Russian Academy of Sciences in St. Petersburg further emphasizes his deep and lasting commitment to Lithuanian studies. By editing and helping to bring the poetry of Christian Donelaitis, a pioneering Lithuanian poet, to a wider academic audience, Schleicher played a crucial role in promoting the study and appreciation of Lithuanian literature, cementing his legacy as a champion of this language. Tragically, August Schleicher's brilliant career was cut short when he died of tuberculosis in Jena in December 1868, at the age of just 47. Despite this shortened lifespan, his systematic approach to comparative linguistics, his pioneering efforts in reconstructing proto-languages, and particularly his influential family tree metaphor fundamentally shaped the discipline. While later linguists, such as the neo-grammarians and proponents of the wave theory, would refine or challenge certain aspects of his models, Schleicher's work provided the essential framework and methodological rigor that continue to be foundational to the study of historical linguistics and Indo-European languages to this day. His impact was so profound that even some of his critics built upon the very foundations he had so meticulously laid. To assume one original universal language is impossible, there are rather many original languages. This is a certain result obtained by the comparative treatment of the languages of the world which have lived till now. Since languages are continually dying out, whilst no new ones practically arise, there must have been originally many more languages than at present. The number of original languages was therefore certainly far larger than has been supposed from the still existing languages. August Schleicher. August Schleicher received the Volney Prize twice 1863, 1867 and was a member of several prestigious academies, including the Saxon Academy of Sciences and Humanities, Bavarian Academy of Sciences and Humanities, Russian Academy of Sciences, Hungarian Academy of Sciences, and the Serbian Learned Society. Sources: Hegarty, Paul, McGuire, Warren, McMahon, April 2010. Splits or waves, trees or webs: How divergence measures and network analysis can unravel language histories. Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society, B 365 1559, 3829-3843. doi 10.1098 rstb.2010.0099. PMC 298-1917. PMID 210412008. Schleicher, August 1874 to 1877, 1871. A Compendium of the Comparative Grammar of the Indo-European, Sanskrit, Greek, and Latin languages, translated from the third German edition. Translated by Bendel, Herbert. London, Trubner and Co. Libetag, Evolutionary Ideas and Empirical Methods, The Analogy Between Language and Species in the Works of Lyell and Schleicher. British Journal for the History of Science 26, S 171-193 1993. References: August, Französische Übersetzung, Langenscheidt Deutsch Französisch Wörterbuch in German and French. Langenscheidt. Archived from the original on August 26, 2024. Retrieved October 20, 2018. Wells, John C. 2008, Longman Pronunciation Dictionary 3rd ed. Longman, ISBN 9781405881180. McElvany, James. January 1, 2018. August Schleicher and Materialism in 19th Century Linguistics. Historiographia Linguistica. 45 1-2, 133-152. doi 10.1075 HL00018.MCE. HDL 20.500.118203622D4F1AE3D84117B9DC12C50253E0E61. ISSN 0302-5160. S2 SID 1585167113. Archived from the original on February 19, 2022. Retrieved March 27, 2022. August Schleicher. Visuotin Lietuvio Encyclopedia in Lithuanian. Archived from the original on February 10, 2023. Retrieved January 15, 2023. Schleicher, August 1857. Handbuch der Litauerischen Sprache von August Schleicher, Litauerisches Lesebuch und Glosser in German. J. G. Cav. Archived from the original on February 10, 2023. Retrieved January 15, 2023. R. Bachauskas, Gidrius March 28, 2021. Lietuva Musulupos. Kadel Mokslininkas Schleichristage, Kad Lietuvio kalba gali lenktynioti su graiku ir romeniu kalbomis. Lithuanian National Radio and Television in Lithuanian. Archived from the original on January 15, 2023. Retrieved January 15, 2023. Richards, Robert J. January 21, 2022. To the Linguistic Creation of Man, Charles Darwin, August Schleicher, Ernst Haeckel, and the Missing Link in 19th Century Evolutionary Theory. Experimenting in Tongues. Stanford University Press. pages 21 to 48. doi 10.15.9781503619999-004. ISBN 978-1-5036-1999-9. S2 SID 246263680. Archived from the original on March 27, 2022. Retrieved March 27, 2022. Ernst Haeckel, German embryologist. Encyclopaedia Britannica. Archived from the original on August 26, 2024. Retrieved April 20, 2017. List: Johann Mattis, Nelson Sathe, Shijulal, Geisler, Hans, Martin, William 2014. Networks of Lexical Borrowing and Lateral Gene Transfer in Language and Genome Evolution. Bioessays. 36 to 141 to 150. doi 10.1002 bs.201300096. ISSN 0265-9247. PMC 3910147. PMID 243756888.
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Silence break, raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw.
Okay.